Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is another speed build. Today I'm doing another modern house, but I'm doing something slightly different. Here's a little sneak preview of what I was working on to get those roof slats up, which you will see at the very end of the video. Here's a inspiration picture of the exterior. Now it did come with a floor plan, but I decided against using it because it was too boring, too boxy, and didn't give the house any shape. In The Sims, boxy houses they just never turn out nice. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to add some kind of bump out. So I did a back deck and a nice big backyard. I ended up moving the lot forward a little bit, which you'll see later on. I did just a slanted roof for the first half. In the second half, I do end up putting a platform. I don't know why I started with another slanted roof, because obviously it's on a platform. In the inspiration picture, but I think I was just trying to see if I could make it work because the platform is slightly angled in the inspiration picture, but that's just not possible in The Sims. So what I did here is I used this column from, I think it's Seasons, and another very slanted roof short piece in the front, and then I end up taking off that roof and adding the platform, raising it up a little bit. And you will see, I'm going to interrupt, but you'll see around the end there's some footage where it's just magically goes from being barely decorated and no landscaping to all of a sudden there's a huge backyard and everything's decorated, and that's because I lost some footage. So I had to redo a portion of the build because I did want to show you how I use ToolMod to make the roof or ceiling beams, and it just so happened I lost everything that I had decorated. So my apologies. We're still learning. It's okay. But here we go with the roof now. I finally got it under control here. Lots of playing around trying to figure out what I was doing, but I got the basic shape. And then I think next I go into adding the windows and the doors, slightly adjusting the roof a little bit more here to accommodate the bump out in the back. I think that came out really cool, actually. I like that there's a difference in shape on the roof, because I don't see that very often. I thought that was a neat way to do this. I was pretty impressed with myself. But anyway, we are still working on the roof because I'm indecisive. I think I finally decided to just do the siding and the flooring, at least, because you can see it's a brick walkway or a brick deck on the front, little platform, and the trim. I wanted to get an actual brick trim. This was the closest one I could get to match. I think it looks okay. We only have what we have in the game, and I wasn't using any CC, so I had to work with what I got. And the doors from Get Famous, that's what that one is. Get Famous. I almost went with the Get Famous windows too. You'll see I'll put them up and then I changed my mind later. I think that this door worked out really well. I like the 3 windows on the side, how it kind of mirrors the asymmetry of the house a little bit. So that's why I went with that. As you see me scrolling endlessly through windows, I did actually cut out a bunch of footage there, so believe it or not, there was more footage of that. Trying to keep this video under 35 minutes, you know. I know not everybody wants to sit through a 35-minute video, or I know when I watch videos I can only watch, if they're longer than 15 minutes, I gotta break them up along the course of my day. Trying to be considerate of that. But here's the little corner piece with these long black windows, and I was just shifting them around because we can kind of sort of custom place windows now with a update that I think we got 2 years ago. We didn't used to be able to hold down Alt and shift the windows as freely as we can now, which is very helpful. I very much enjoy that. I use that feature quite a bit in this home specifically because I wanted to make a double window. I ended up using the single windows here from base game, and this is where I go replacing the Get Famous windows with those single base game windows right here. I think it looks nice. I don't really use this one that often, the one with the arch and the little pieces of window at the top. normally use this one. I either go with the more plain or the more intricate one. This one's kind of in the middle, and I think it worked well for a modern build, but also one that's more, you know, not so modern that it's outrageous, because the last build I did, it was extremely modern. I tried to keep this one like traditional modern in design. And I think right here is where I decided to pick the wallpaper. Yes. So the outside stucco is this nice light green, just like in the inspiration pick. I really enjoyed that too. And I also I tried to do a platform trim over here, but it wasn't working. And that's alright. I didn't know if I could do it or not. That was just a test. Fiddling around with stuff to make it work. I don't remember what wallpaper I used for the top, for the roof piece. I know it was some kind of rectangle brick. It might have been this one. No, it was not. I did think about using that university one. I thought that was really cool. But I think I just went with the base game rectangle brick that I think defaults to this green swatch, but I used it in a gray. Is that the one I picked? Yes, it is this one. I believe it is that gray one. I go back and forth a little bit, but I think I finally decide on that one. No, here we go. Actually, it's patterned plaster. It was under the paint, not masonry. That's the one. Because I thought the masonry looked too rough, and this one was more of a smooth, like a smooth concrete or a smooth brick. Moving up here to the roof piece, I use these little windows, these little asymmetrical windows. Again, a nod to the asymmetry of the house, and I use the or the alt placement of the windows to get kind of a custom shape. I will be deleting the floor under the roof piece so that the light comes through the ceiling, so the windows are definitely important. And I wanted an interesting shape to go with the rest of the house. I think that's it for that part. And then the little bump out I made green because I just thought that was really cool. Back here, I think I do use 2 doors. A door to the back patio from the kitchen area, kitchen walkway area, and a door from the primary bedroom. Primary bedroom's pretty small, you'll see, compared to the kids' room. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But I assumed that, I could go with the storyline of, the parent really isn't in their room a lot besides to sleep and then get dressed, whereas the kid uses their room for not only sleeping, but studying, playing, having their friends over. So they get the bigger room. Or maybe they're planning on having a sibling soon with the new Infants update coming out. So, who knows? You could throw a bunk bed in there. You could definitely do 2 children in this house. I don't know where you'd put a baby's room. I guess we'd have to cut a little bit into the living area, maybe. I don't know. But hey, I hear they have playpens, so I'm excited about that. All right, here's the back door right there, and I think I used the same door out of the bedroom as well. I was going to do a window, and I decided a door would be more luxurious to have out of the primary bedroom right onto the back patio space. Obviously, you would lock that, but I thought it looked really cute. And the platform flooring, just the simple concrete flooring. I did end up, where did I grab those roof pieces from? Oh, well, here are the little slats, and I actually will end up using these also later inside, which you'll see, but I put them out here to reflect the inspiration photo of the exterior of the house. And I use these are actually roof trim or roof accent pieces from Cottage Living. At first I put them in the green swatch and I raised them up using the 9 key, and then just fit them together to look like one solid piece. I do believe I changed that to a white shade. I'm pretty sure it's white, just to go with the trim on the front door and the columns. Here I am taking a little look around the entire house to make sure it was the shape I wanted, and then I head in where I have the lights placed. I think I start with the bathroom, yes. So I was thinking I wanted to do a yellow themed bathroom. I don't know why, but you'll see in this house for some reason I keep trying to use yellow, and I do end up using it in the child's bedroom and in the living space. But first I tried it in the bathroom because I thought, oh, that'll look so cheery and bright. Well, I didn't end up liking it, but I keep the same plumbing, but I changed the color swatches because I couldn't make the yellow work. There was no tile that I thought looked right with the shade of yellow that I had on the toilet and the shower tub combo and the sink and the counters. It just wasn't working. So here I put in 2 little counters, shower tub combo, important for a big family. And I think just 1 sink, but a long mirror along the wall. I think I used the mirror from Parenthood. Yes, Parenthood. And at first I put it in a yellow swatch, but I do end up changing it to a gray swatch. So all of a sudden you'll see, I'll have a very quick transition. All of a sudden, bam, everything is gray. But I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. The yellow, I just couldn't make it work. You'll see I'm fiddling around with a little bit of the tile, the bathroom walls, and it just wasn't working, so I gave up on that dream, and that's okay. But I was picking the doors while I was racking my brain on how I was going to make it all work, and that's when I give up. There it is. I think it came out nice though. The flooring, I used the hexagonal floor tile from Eco Lifestyle, and because I like that flooring, I already knew that I wanted to use the hexagonal tiling from high school years in the white. I think white and gray is very clean. It's good to use for a bathroom, so why not? And then I throw in a bunch of pops of color with the decorations, the towels, a little stand-up bathroom pantry organizer, and I think I did a little basket of shampoo, soap, etc. Oh, little soap dispenser on the sink, and the toothbrushes in a cup. I don't have the bathroom clutter kit yet. We're working on it. It's on my wish list, but I'm saving up. I want to definitely want to get the Growing Together pack pre-ordered, so I have it as soon as possible. And the bathroom clutter kit and a few other little kits I don't have yet. They are on the list, possibly even werewolves. So, saving up, trying to figure out what we want because, they're not free. So, there's some towels. I enjoyed the towels. I don't use that towel rack because it's very strange and zigzaggy and off-center, but again, I was trying to go with the asymmetry of the house, and I think it was a nice little nod to that. And here you see me adding the rest of the clutter, the toothbrushes, the towels, the broom. I forgot I have a broom on the wall mounted with a dustpan, very important. A little medicine cabinet behind the toilet, and I throw in 2 different lights here. There's one little light over by the toilet that lights that up really nice, and then 3 lights over the sink vanity area. And then I use the tool mod to change the light color, which you can do in build mode. You don't need to do it in live mode with your sim. And there's also a new color wheel that came with the latest update you can use, and that is pretty cool. That would probably be very useful for some community lots or even bedrooms if you want them color coded. I think that's really neat. So if you have the tool mod and you haven't updated it yet, or the Better Build By, get to it. It's also on CurseForge, so for me, it didn't update automatically, but it let me know that it could be updated, which was very handy. So if you're playing with the EA app, I know most of us are now because it's gotten us. It got me too, guys. But it's okay. Mine went pretty smooth. I did make a backup of my saves, but it went smoothly. So if you're suddenly find yourself caught and you have to upgrade to the EA app, just do what you have to do, back up your saves, but breathe. It'll be fine. You shouldn't lose anything, and if you do, you can contact customer care, and they are usually pretty good about stuff like that. I had to change an email with them years ago, and they made sure I had all the packs that I bought. They don't want you to have to buy them again. It doesn't reflect well on them at all, so don't worry. Here's the primary bedroom. I literally just have the bed in there to map it out how I was going to do it, and then I found this stray column. Ended up in this room. Don't know how that happened. It's The Sims. And I thought, let's just make this room match the bed because I like the bed. That works. Dark blue walls, white trim. Sounds like a plan. Then I use this eco lifestyle single bed, the teal, which I really enjoy, and then the yellow. Again, there's that pop of yellow that I enjoyed throwing in this house. Little desk from high school years, and the wood tone, and some other kid stuff too, because I imagine that this is a child sim who's about to be a teen. So they're transitioning through stuff in their room. They might want some toys, but they also want some more grown-up teen stuff, some music, some fun posters and decorations. They still have their nightlight, but it's far over in the other corner of the room, so they're working their way away from it. And then I break out my CC OMSP shelf just to position this tabletop light, because it didn't want to place on top of the shelf exactly. I will have that linked down below, along with Twisted Mexi's Better Build Buy and tool mods. Those are very helpful. I believe I use that shelf again too for this stack of books, because I end up putting it on the bottom of that cube organizer, as I call it. I have a couple of these. They're just not in the L shape. There's those cute little books with the succulents on either side, and I move them to right about there. If you notice any large pauses in the game where I stop moving my mouse and the screen just stands still, well, that's because somebody was calling for me or somebody needed my attention really fast. Mom life. So there is the rug for the room that I'm finally getting around to. I had to regroup there, it seemed. I was a little confused after I came back from that. And here is the chair. Rolling chair, I used the yellow one also from high school years. Again, more yellow. And then I believe I do the small dresser from Tiny Living, just in the wood frame, or the wood tone that matches the bed frame. And I don't remember when I picked the wallpaper, but that's coming up. Instead of a computer, I gave them a little tablet, maybe a little gaming tablet. I thought that was neat. I haven't used that yet, so I wanted to try that out. And here are some sticky notes and a little craft box from the one is from high school years, and the other one is from the clutter kit. And here's a pile of dirty clothes in the corner, as is customary. And another little art box or craft supply box on top of the dresser. Finally, I'm picking the wallpaper, and I go with, guess what color? Yellow. There it is. And also because it had some teal and some white. I enjoyed the speckles. I thought that went really, really nicely. It's not too childish, and it can be worked with, as the child grows up. Changing the light to the fitness pack light, and like I said, you'll be seeing me throw up some posters here. I just pick a whole bunch of posters, and they end up being mostly science related, inadvertently. I wasn't planning that out, but it just kind of happened. So maybe this child sim is interested in science, or being an astronaut, or has some kind of aspiration to be somewhere around the scientist career, or maybe they just want to study rocket science in college, or maybe someone that they really admire is into science. Maybe they just like science fiction, and they're really into all the terminology. Who knows? I think I ended up putting a periodic table on top of the desk. I start out with a different poster set, and it has a swatch of a periodic table, and I just thought, wow, that's just too good. How am I not going to use that? So there's that poster, and you'll see me go through the swatches. No, I don't know. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Oh, hey, that works. There's that. And then I move on to the primary bedroom, because I figured I over-decorated the child's room enough. Here is the primary bedroom. I picked the flooring. I use that throughout the rest of the home as well, except for the child's room. And I was having trouble picking the end table. I usually go for this trusty little cube when it's a small room like this, but I decided against that, and I wanted to go with something different. I couldn't quite figure out what would fit, because they are all so large, but I think I ended up with the Tiny Living circular one in the plain wood swatch, and I think that worked out. And just a simple lamp. Like I said, this room is very simply decorated because I assume that the parents, as long as they have a nice comfortable place to sleep and it's decorated minimally, maybe they don't want a lot of stuff in their room because they're very busy and they just need their room to be clean and simple and organized. So maybe that's, and that's totally fine. I would love that in real life. Here's a mirror on the wall. And here are, oh, excuse me, it's late. Here is some artwork. It's this set of 4 from Cats and Dogs. That's right, Cats and Dogs. I really enjoy those. I think they're really cool, and they come in 4 different sets, which are really easy to make work in almost any room. I believe I did, yes, this very pretty globe that I sized down one. I like the leaves, and it adds a little bit of extra color and pizzazz to the room, which is otherwise pretty boring. And there's a nice little plant above the bed there. I think that's also Eco Lifestyle. I could be wrong. I think that's Eco Lifestyle, though. I'm 80% sure. I missed it in my speed build playback as I'm watching it now. And then I struggled with a rug. I do like these fluffy rugs, but that just looks silly with the L shape of those rugs. So I figured that we have to get one solid rug. Something that works, something that's cute. And I believe we go with this big fluffy rug that I used ToolMod to size up slightly less than the first option with the 9 key. And there it is, or the bracket key, should I say. I decided on curtains. I do like these Garden Luxe, Desert Luxe curtains. Instead of using 2 like that, I decided to do 1 curtain with the bar on top, thinking maybe you can pull that curtain over more and it covers the rest of the window, like it's just bunched over in the side, so it extends longer. I thought that was really nice. I had a little trouble with the curtains in the child's room. I like the macrame curtains, but they were not working for my vision, I guess. It just was not doing it for me. So I ended up getting rid of those, and I used the base game curtains, the ones that are kind of draped and pulled to the side. And I believe I used them in the swatch with the rainbow stars, the white one with the rainbow stars. There it is. I thought that was kind of cool too because the room is so speckled. And then the shade is also slightly speckled, but with stars. I could not get this to place for the life of me. It just wasn't working out, so I had to move the window, then move the shade or the curtain over a little bit, then put the window back. And I think that came out very nice. And now I'm looking at the living space, living, dining, and kitchen space is all one room. Oh, excuse me. So I did a platform right about there, and this was going to be the dining area over here, and you will eventually see it when I get past the kitchen decorating that I realized that this space is just way too small. So I changed my mind on that and just make everything slightly bigger, slightly wider. I think that was a wise choice. I was debating it when I first made the shape of the house, but I thought, you know what? No, I can make that work. That'll be fine. I was wrong. I was so very wrong. I do end up switching these windows over eventually, but first I'm trying to map out how everything's going to be. There we go. So I moved that window in to be, that's where the kitchen area will be. The fridge, the countertops, the sink, the stove. It's a very simple, very basic kitchen. There's no island. There is cabinets, but it's really simple. And I really wanted to use these snowy escape counters, but I couldn't get over the fact that I couldn't find a matching overhead cabinet because that pack did not come with matching overhead cabinets for the countertops. Why? That was their choice. I guess they had a lot more that they wanted to give us. They probably ran into an items limit per pack. That's my guess. But I threw a sink in here. I didn't like the way the sink looked with the countertops anyway, so I was okay to change it there. And here is the vent hood I'm deciding on. And because I really like this one, you'll see which one I'm talking about. Not that one. I like that one too, but not for this house. This one. Just this simple one. I think that looks the most realistic, and the top part can be hidden in a cabinet, as long as the cabinet doesn't have window glass with cups and stuff inside, because then that definitely cuts through. But if you're using one of these long flat rectangle pieces, it works just fine. So I lower the vent hood down to match up with that a little bit. And here is the shelving and the I was trying to think about using shelving instead of overhead cabinets, but that just wasn't working. So here is my new decision on the countertops. And then I had to, I didn't like the way that one looked. Then I had to replace the faucet because the window, when I moved it down, cut into the faucet. You'll quickly see the faucet just randomly change. Just bing, bang, boom, and it's just done. Ta-da, different one. I was fiddling around with lots of faucets. I didn't think you needed to see all that. And then here is me deciding I needed to make this wider. There you go. What were you thinking, Christine? Okay, and here's me making the roof slightly bigger. I turn around, make sure everything lines up. Of course it doesn't. I had to fix the roof trim right there, and I also had to move that little stone piece I got out of the debug menu back in, but that's okay because I didn't mind being able to record that and show you how I did it. Those are cliff pieces from the debug menu, I believe Eco Lifestyle, which is good because this is actually in Evergreen Harbor, this lot, and it's really nice. But I've sized them down all the way with the normal resize keys, and then I used tool mod to size them down even more. And then I used the tool mod and the bracket keys to raise the stone pieces up so it looks like a little stone retaining wall for the garden bed. And the little palms that you see over in the other garden box are from the debug menu for, I almost said for Solani 4 Island Living Pack, and then I used a half wall to make a garden box. I thought that looked pretty nice. Here, I think I was deciding on a couch. Yes, couch first, because that helped me map out the rest. A 3-seater couch did not work for the space. It was just too big. Didn't have enough room for routing. So, what I decided on, instead of using a sectional or a large sofa, this one I really liked because it matched those chairs so well, but it did come from the same pack, so that makes sense. I think I used, yeah, here we go, the Paranormal Love Seat for the yellow and also the gray and light blue accents. I figured those would really make the stainless steel appliances all tie together. And then I was going to do a little TV, but I did a big TV up on the wall and a video game console, and also some debug controllers and remote control will be popping up on the table soon. Here's this little speaker from the Everyday Clutter Kit, which I haven't used yet, and it's very cute, and I think it works really well for this space. Because the ceilings are so high, maybe that room is great for, playing music and having everybody be able to hear it. But here's the remotes for a video game, and here's a little plant on the table, and then I moved the table away because I couldn't get it to place or to slot correctly, for my liking anyway. And I believe I put a little plant on the table. It's this one from Dine Out. I love that. It looks like the little pussy willow fronds in the vase. Love that. And then I'm going through and trying to figure out the walls. This is too brown. It just washed everything out. I did not like that, so I went with this green. And the pale green is different than the outside, just enough to make a difference. Here I'm moving those windows around one more time, setting up a little back entry or exit space. I was going to use these shoe racks, and I changed my mind just because I didn't like the way they looked. At first I liked the way they looked, and I had to raise them up through the platform, but I decided against them. And on the other side I had placed a console table, coat rack, and a bag hanger mounted on the wall. And there's a little bin of snacks, a little location for eyeglasses and a watch and maybe a notepad or a mini calendar, 2 water bottles because that's always important, and a tiny little plant because we love plants. I didn't throw nearly enough plants in here. I should have done more. I think I was trying to just get this done in time. I'm getting a little bit faster with my recording and my editing, but if I hadn't lost footage, you know, I would have gotten this done a little bit sooner. But that's okay. Like I said, we're learning. We do what we can. I think what I decided here's where I decided. I wanted to do the built-in coat racks on this side. I figured this is where their big coats went. Their, large, bulky winter coats. Maybe their suit jackets that they wanted for as soon as they walk out the door so they didn't get it all dirty in the morning before they headed off to work or school. I moved them down on top. This is technically a TV console table on the bottom, but I liked the way it looked with the overhead cabinets and the coat hanger. So here's that. And I do not think I added a whole lot of clutter, just four sets of the shoes in different swatches facing outwards so you can easily pull your shoes out. And I think I was going to add that basket of linens on top, but I decided against it. Then I add this little light, and now I'm going to go through really quickly. You're going to see it suddenly cut, and the wall is going to have those slats on it. And tool mod is going to be up, and I'm going to be rotating. It happens really fast. That's the footage that I lost, and I had to redo. So get ready for it. Here it comes. There it is. And then you are going to see me rotate and elevate above the roof. I did that on purpose so that I could see and get the correct angle first before I then lowered it down. I had to play around with it just a little bit to get it right. Then I lower it down, go into tab mode so I can see it, and there's my playtester sim because I had already brought her in to do this. Here's a tiny little tour around the house before screenshots pop up. I did a nice little backyard, hedges all throughout besides one little corner area where I figured they could sneak in and out. Hot tub. There's some plants in the window in the kitchen. There's the front. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stick around for the screenshots, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. My Instagram is Miss Chris Builds, as well as my name on the gallery. So I will talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.